Natalie, welcome to the Double Triple podcast. We're very, very excited to speak with you today. I actually remember on the other side of where I'm standing is our gym floor, basically. And I remember sitting on the floor and you called me. I think you're at your nan's or your grandparents or something when you were maybe exploring to jump into tech sales, and we had a conversation. So I remember the whole thing so clearly. But maybe for the folks dialing in and listening, if you can open up sort of who you are, where you're based, and what you're currently doing for work at the moment.
Yeah, so my name is Natalie. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a nurse for 6 years, and I'm currently working in anaesthetics at a day surgery. So yeah, pretty much I enjoyed nursing, but now adulting and in this chapter of my life, I wanted to have a look at more of a career that had better progression, better income, better flexibility. So my partner actually stumbled upon your Instagram, Kayla, and he was like, "Oh, you got the gift of the gab. You can totally do sales." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, because like once you're a nurse, you're kind of like a nurse forever. Like you get to that point where you're an old grumpy nurse. So that's just kind of like the path that I thought I had to be on." And then after speaking to you and doing some research on the side, I was like, yeah, I could do this. This could be my next chapter. So
So many questions I have to ask you before we jump into that. Like, how long was your partner following, I guess, myself before you making that exact move to jump into it? Because it sounds like when we spoke to, one of the main drivers were your partner was also heading into Sydney a few days a week. And for the folks, you're more down in the south coast of Australia. And I remember so clearly you saying like you could stay in what you're doing right now. And the thing I think, like even with physios and nurses, like you've gone and studied and you've done all the work, but you're just like, every single year, basically, I'm going to increase my income by like X amount, which wasn't a lot, right? And that was like the main driver for you. But like, how long were you feeling like you were kind of leaning towards making the step into a next career jump?
So it was really this year. I feel like in this chapter, me and my partner just got engaged. We were looking to move closer to Sydney for his work, and it was kind of just like the next step. So like that, and then currently at work, we are going through like fighting for like a pay rise. So the fact of how much we had to fight to get like a $2 increase in our pay was like, it was just so, it pissed me off so much. Sorry for the language,
no,
but
it's like it was just, like, you're kind of like, what's it even worth even fighting for this energy?
Yeah. And then you think back, you're like, okay, well, I did so many years at uni. I had to do over 1,000 hours of free placement at different hospitals that took me like everywhere. And it's just so much effort. And I was like, kind of just felt tied to it. And then outside of work, everyone, if someone has a problem, they're always calling me. Like Nurse Nat is like your identity now. So it was nice. I think now that I'm looking into like more of the future, it was like what I'm doing now is what I'll be doing in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years. And I don't know, it just like, it didn't sit right with me because I was like, my goals are way too big for what I'm getting. And it was also the fact of, everyone comes to work. You can put in 120% every day. Someone can put in 10% and you're getting paid the same. So like, I was always going the extra mile and always trying to help out in any way possible. First one to put my hand up for overtime, like anything and everything, but you're getting paid the exact same as someone that's just there. And like nursing, nursing, you get capped at 8 years. So after 8 years of nursing, you get paid the same as you would if you're a 20-year nurse, which is just
that's crazy.
Like,
No, it's like teachers and like nurses. It's like it actually breaks my heart. And I'm like, you're living through it. It's like you guys are on the front line. Like literally, we need you all. Like, and there's such an important role to play in society. But then it's just like the rewards there. And when you really think about, yourself and where it is, like for your family that I know you want to build very soon and whatnot, it's like, what does that look like in 5 or 10 years too? And, I'm pretty sure you were doing like 10-hour shifts and potentially working weekends. And like you were saying, and I'm sure there was like night shifts in there, or if you wanted to pick up more hours, it just meant working more hours on the floor to make more money.
Yeah. And it was like back when I started and I was on the COVID ward, it was like everyone was so unsure. Like the doctors wouldn't even come onto the ward. Like they would just yell orders down the hallway and like everything was just like crazy to think back then, like even as an 18-year-old, having to like put someone in a body bag and then after a 12-hour shift and then go to an 18 birthday party. Like thinking how
Crazy.
like how we did that. I don't know. It just, yeah, now I'm ready for the next step.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, I can't even imagine that situation. And I think, I think I've told everyone this story. I don't know why. It's not funny at all, but it's also like, I think it's kind of humorous in a light sense when, you're going through some of your interviews and one of the questions like, how do you deal with data and stuff? And it's just like, I think you did such a good job of like, I look at data and someone can literally die, or it's like, I'm getting in
Yeah.
sales. So it's like, handling like the stress and like the composure, what you need to bring into sales, but like what you were actually doing, which is like way more important like what could actually happen could impact someone's life. And
Yeah.
it's just like, again, how you translated those skills from even nursing into getting into tech sales. I think, you did a good job to demonstrate those skill sets as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I
Amazing.
think feel like everyone during the interview process, when they could see the transferable skills, they're like, wow, just didn't realize how
Hmm.
much you could actually bring across.
Yeah, totally. And I think, you know, you're a very similar age in myself. And I think actually a lot of folks these days have probably missed that human interaction, whether it was COVID or even just being a little bit younger, depending on what they're doing on their phones, etc. And I think a lot of folks like yourself, like you actually have had to be human interaction, having conversations with people. And I think a lot of folks lack those skills these days, which I think that is a really big like skill of yours, is communication and articulation in situations as well.
Yeah, and like I said to everyone in the interviews, like my patients have like 10 seconds when they see me to trust me with their life. So if
Mm-hmm.
they look at me and they're like, oh, I don't know about her, then most of the time they could say, oh, I don't want this surgery anymore. So you have 10 seconds to build that rapport with someone and get them to trust you with their life because they're going under anesthetic. So, you know, yeah.
Totally. No, that's a great shout. That's amazing. In terms of, I guess, like, it's obviously, registered nurse, definitely not a plant nurse. Um,
I was like,
but
that
no,
could
just
be the
from,
next thing, maybe on the side.
that's too
Tech
good.
and plant
The
nurse.
folks, too good. In a joke for the folks out there. But otherwise, when you obviously joined Double Triple, right? So, we're just talking off air there. So in context, obviously, Natalie, you've come, I think you came, did you join the program in April, was it?
Yeah, I think it
I
was
think it was
April.
about, yeah, in about April, and then obviously in end of July, you landed that role. So pretty quick transition. Typically what we see for folks, like, anywhere from that 6 to 8 week mark to sort of land that role. I want to pull out sort of like your experience through Double Triple and your experience going and breaking into tech. So I think you've got some great, I think just like things that you can share with the audience of like, maybe like, you don't have to worry about not having experience and breaking in. But one thing I do want to highlight before getting into that is you've landed an SDR role. Really exciting. So you'll be starting that actually next Monday. And I think through that whole process, you said a few roles just sort of landed on my lap. But can I, like, from my external perspective, obviously coaching you and you joining Double Triple, and for everyone out there, is like Natalie always made, like, you would join calls on like your lunch breaks, like in the group coaching sessions. Like I remember our first one-on-one, like you were sprinting home from work, I think, and you just got off an interview. And it was just like you were making time because you like genuinely wanted to do this. And I think the people that do land those roles within that period, it's just like they're all in making it happen. And I think all up, you probably went through maybe 4 different companies, maybe have like actual got through the process. And then I would say actually like 2 of them, like, I think I guided you. It's like good experience, but like, let's not take those roles. And then I think 2 were like, let's go really hard at these. And then you landed one of those as well, which through Double Triple, it's like we have a framework of what's a good company and we help you all. But from your experience too, you'll pick up like, is culture a good fit? Does your manager look great? And like, who do you actually want to work for? So maybe if you want to share a little bit around your first experience joining Double Triple.
Yeah, no. So from the get-go, it was easy. Everything was very explainable. As I said, I was just so busy. I kind of put it on the back burner and trying to do it when I could on my weekends off. And so I was trying to do it then. And then I guess at work with the pay rise, it like got me cranky. So then I went all in like the last maybe 3 weeks. So I don't know, it was so easy for someone that like doesn't really have like a lot of technology at work. Like it was so easy to follow, so easy to to go through. I think the most important thing is like it's all there for you. It's whether you want to do it or not. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's there if you want to put in the effort, if you really want to change, like it's up to you how much hours you spend on it, how many minutes, like it's purely up to you. So I think once I had that like fire in me, I was like, nah, I have to go 100%. And yeah, some of the companies that I looked at and had interviews with kind of got the vibe. I was like, oh yeah, no. And then Mentimeter came along, and I literally just from the first second I started speaking to the team and had my first interview, I was like, yeah, they're the ones. Like just the
Nice. No, that's awesome.
cultural, yeah, like for me, I knew like an entry level, like, the salary wasn't going to be like crazy. And I was even happy to drop down from like my nursing salary for the first year. So I wasn't big on that. It was more about getting the right fit, the right company to learn all the skills from the beginning correctly. And like the team, I'm like in theaters, you work with a small team, and we say it's always like good music and good drugs in theater. So like, we have this fun little group. And so that was so important to me to find a team that, I don't know, is just fun and actually care about you and want you to succeed. So yes, as I said, as soon as I saw Mentimeter, I was like, yeah, they're it. I want
Oh,
them.
totally. Yeah, no, you could tell, and you naturally, like everyone that comes through Double Triple, you end up just like falling in love with as soon as you've had that first conversation. But I think it's a great company you've landed at. Obviously, we had Slater land a role there, and I think when you look at a few of the folks that have joined there, you can just tell like the characteristics and the people they're hiring for. And then we've had a few conversations with sort of the leadership team over at Mentimeter, and they're absolutely all like so. Like I feel like you can tell that tech has also changed their life because you can see from LinkedIn where they've also come into, and then they're really passionate about bringing other people in that haven't been in tech before. I think they're pretty big, advocates for that. Especially like, we did a post this morning on LinkedIn or yesterday, and one of the hiring managers reposting it and resharing it, which was like so lovely to see. It was really exciting.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to highlight for people in Double Triple Two is like a lot of people come in and you didn't have, I'm pretty sure maybe you had a LinkedIn created, but it wasn't like fully built out yet when you joined. And people are in two camps, right? Like I fully appreciate if you're in like a physio nurse background and it's like, or a tradie, like Slater's a good example. Like Bryce, Hassam, none of them had like LinkedIn profiles before. And then so you can create one and then, openly kind of do a post because it's like probably not like, I don't know, your nurse friends are fully on LinkedIn or whatever the case is.
I was going to say,
Appreciate
there is
some
no
close.
nurses.
Yeah.
Like, I think on
Yeah.
my original LinkedIn, I had like 6 people. It was like my
Mm-hmm.
partner and my sister and some friends.
Yeah.
And then when I did tech, I deleted everyone because I was like, I kind of wanted to do this without like pressure. And then if I got anything, but yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
even have a profile picture. I don't even think I had anything. I think I had my name.
Yeah, no, I know, I remember, and like I'm within the first week, you made a post anyways, and it did really well in that first post. Like I think you got a bit of traction from that, and I think what we do as well, like because your profile looks great, I forward that on to some folks that I know in the industry that can help get those first few interviews. But what in terms of like going back through your experience, so it's like basically like as to your point, like I think you did 2 or so interviews, and maybe it went a bit not quite, but like dealing with work, and then you went hard for 3 weeks, and then things just like all took place basically. What would you say some learnings are for people doing the interview process with some tech companies?
I think the biggest thing is like practice. Like from the first interview that I had, which was in a car on the way to the gym on the phone, was like getting your story right, like why you want to do it. It sounds so silly, but it's an honest question. Like, why do you want to do this? So just practice, practice, practice makes you perfect. Um, and I think for me, the biggest thing was like finding a company that the service, the product is what you would actually use slash enjoy. And
Mm.
you got to love it. So when I had some interviews with companies where I was like, oh, like I did my research and I like know what it is, but I'm like kind of there. I was like, how am I going to
Mm-hmm.
sell it? Where then when
Totally.
Mentimeter came, I like told them during the interview, like I watched all the YouTube videos and how to use it, and I watched the demos, and I watched people actually reviewing the product that are on it, and all these different things. And I actually have a few people that use it during their classrooms and for work. One of the doctors uses it for marking for his
That's really cool.
so I actually asked people around what they actually thought of it, and everyone loved it. And all the videos I saw, the creative aspect to it too. I'm such a creative person, so I just connected on so many levels, and I was like, this is going to be so easy because I actually believe in it.
100%.
So just
Yeah,
practice. Yeah.
nice. I think that reminds me of when I was I was an SDR at Splunk, right? And they were like, I kind of went for the logo, right, at that point in time, because I was breaking in, but didn't really was not passionate about I don't know if you know these words yet, but it's seam observability, in selling tech, and it was just it was very technical and complicated. But I was I'm not passionate about this. But what happened was when I was at Splunk actually implemented MoveWorks, the tech company I then went to, and same thing. I started to use it, and I was getting so much value out of it that I was then looking for an AE role, and when I was going, I had 3 opportunities that I was going to explore. And I actually signed a contract for this other company, and then I got the role at MoveWorks. And the reason I took MoveWorks is because I literally could just sit there and talk to my nan and actually explain what it was doing. Whereas if it gets really complicated or you're not passionate about it, yeah, it's just really hard to get behind. So I think you did that as well with Mentimeter, which is cool. One of the other
100%.
things I remember early on in our conversations too was you said to me, should I be upfront around my money motivations and things like that? And, I was absolutely. I think anyone in sales wants to hear that, you're motivated by money. But I think, you did that in a humble, nice way through that experience. Is there anything you want to share around that during the interview process?
Yeah, there were some companies that were one company said to me, we want to hear that because they're then we know you want to work hard and get them KPIs and have the drive to do better. So I feel no one's ever said anything negative regarding it. That is one of the reasons why I'm leaving nursing, because of the cap. It's not the main reason, but it is one. And I think, as I said, I've got too many goals and dreams to cap myself at that. So the progression in tech is just crazy to me, and all the opportunities in the future. So really, that's what also gets me excited.
Totally. And to loop back, and we won't share exacts or anything, but it's you did basically sign a package that was I guess kind of similar to what you're making now as a nurse, right? But a few extra benefits or whatnot. But then obviously the uncapped potential in the future.
So many benefits. In nursing, you get zero.
Yeah.
So
when and you're off to Sweden next month or this month,
yeah,
is it?
No, next week.
Next week.
Next Thursday. I literally said in the interview when they're like, "Oh, we need to hire quick because we're going to Sweden." I was like, "Yeah, my bags are packed. I'm ready." But
it was so good.
No, it's just actually crazy. From the first call with the talent agent, on the Wednesday during work, I literally went down to the car park in my scrub hat, in my scrubs, to then the following Tuesday, Wednesday having that second and third interviews, to then Thursday getting the job, and then Friday resigning from my work. It was literally within a week, and then the weekend I was just I
know.
I was like, what am I doing? How did this happen so quickly?
I know.
It's meant to be, and I had to cancel all these other interviews, and I'm thank God, because I was praying so hard.
Praying for no more interviews is the mantra.
Yeah, that's literally the mantra, and it's just crazy. But the benefits. Oh my God! When I was telling some of the people at my work, they're like, "Are you sure this is real?" No one believes me, and everyone thinks I'm just going on a holiday. No one believes that this is for work. Because again, it's just non-existent in nursing. All the little things that they kept saying, I was like, what do you mean? This is what I've been deprived of.
I know, it's so good. When I had healthcare paid for, I was just you get the massages. I was like, this is just so awesome.
That's why this is crazy. And oh yeah, you get a work phone and computer. I'm like, what do you?
Yeah.
It's
I know.
everyone. Yeah, everyone literally in tech just sees it all, and they're like, yeah, that's all normal. And I'm like, it's not.
Yeah, I know.
It's not.
Definitely no, I know. For the first 2 years, it just never gets old. Like all the things. I'll have to share it with you. I remember my first trip to America. Maybe I'll post this one day, but I remember recording like a video of me in San Francisco when I flew over there, and it's just like I was capturing a moment of me just like what's happened, like similar thing. Like I just like couldn't believe like the whole situation, but it was really awesome. One
Don't
thing I
worry,
wanted to ask was just
I'll be
yeah,
blogging because
yeah, please do.
I used to do filmmaking before I was a nurse. So
Oh,
again, very creative.
nice.
Yeah, so you'll get
Yeah.
that.
No, I mean your photos on Instagram are very like what would you? I don't know. I'm not very good with like. I know I post on social media, but I'm not like I don't have the design eye. But yeah,
Yeah,
yours are yeah.
travel.
But travel, yes. But one question I wanted to ask you because you mentioned it, like, well, he sort of like what actually like I know it was looping back to the start, but your partner obviously saw me, but like, did you not think to do this by yourself, or were you just like was your partner
I
sort of
was
like I think yeah, like what made you make the jump into
I
double
was
triple, I guess.
yeah, I was so into my bubble of I'm a nurse, studied so hard, worked so hard, especially during like the pandemic. Like, you know, I'm a nurse forever. Like you hardly hear of nurses coming out of nursing. Well, like I haven't heard like anyone that I talk to. And so when my partner saw you, he was like, "Nah, I really like." He heard me complaining all the time
Hmm.
about just like the the long haul of nursing. And yeah, the money, the flexibility. Like in the next few years, yeah, we do want to start a family. So how does that look? Like, all of these different things because you can't work from home in what I was doing. You can't put someone to sleep from home. So
Mhm.
it was just all these different things. And he came across your page and he's like, why don't you have a look? Because he's seen me, like we've been together for 11 years since high school. He's seen me try and do like small little businesses of selling like handmade products. And when I was younger, always going to the markets. Still to this day, I like will go vintage shopping and resell stuff. I'm always selling stuff. I'm always doing that. And I just never thought I could do that as a career, like a
Hmm.
big girl career. So he was like, I really think you can do this. And yeah, it took me so long to actually take the leap because I was again, you just don't hear of nurses doing it. And I'm like, you know, I've worked so hard, I've studied so hard, my HEX debt is so big from nursing. And then I don't know, I think the thing that actually pushed me was like our fighting for our pay rise and the
Hmm.
conditions at work and just seeing how much we had to fight for it, like just yeah, out of the fire. And I was just, I don't know. And then seeing your backstory and everyone else's backstories and seeing all the other people, like I don't know, it was just like 100 different things, all just like I just woke up and I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, nice. No, I remember Cass calling me, because you spoke with Cass, right?
Mm.
One of our, yeah, Cass, and she's like, no, Natalie's going to be awesome. And then, yeah, gave you a buzz and, things worked out really well. And pretty cool to see, like, I think, you and Ornella going to get your coffee dates. Ornella started her role today as well. And it's really cool to see, like, everyone networking with Inside Double Triple and creating a few friends as well.
Oh, the community is amazing. Like while I was at work, like Ornella would call me and she's like, I've got this interview and I've got this interview, and I'd be in the storeroom with the door closed and I'm like, oh my God, I've got this one and this one. And just she would send me her stuff, I would send her my stuff. And then it was just one day when I think after I had my first call with Mentimeter and she had her first interview at her company, and we were just like manifesting. We're like, we're gonna get coffee in the city, we're gonna go close, we're gonna do this, no more interviews. And then yeah,
There we
that's
are.
it.
I know. No, it's so awesome to see. I think, and Ornella started today her role. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I saw her,
yeah,
yeah, update that, which was really cool. But
so
otherwise,
exciting.
well, yeah. Is there anything else, Natalie, you want to mention? While you got the floor, anything around breaking into tech or just your experience? Anything that you want to pass on to anyone that's even like exploring tech sales that could be you 6 months ago? I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, well, I think double triple was the best decision I made. Like, you guys have made this so easy. It was just so nice having people there to help you, like in any way, shape, or form. Like even the community, just asking people for their opinions. You're not in it by yourself. I think like I wish I did this earlier. I'm happy I did it now. But if I could like say to anyone, like if you're thinking, if you have that gut feeling that you don't want to do what you're doing now in like the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, like just do it. Take the leap. Like it's like literally I haven't stopped smiling. Like I know that this is the best decision I've made for like me and my future and for my future family, and like I'm just so excited where this takes me. And I'm actually so excited for like the company Mentimeter and just to bring my new ideas and just to like learn everything like correctly from the ground up. And I'm just so excited.
Oh, that's awesome. I think, you highlighted something great there because you're joining tech the same age Gabe joined tech. I joined a little bit earlier, but the point that you mentioned as well around like for many years, I was always like, I couldn't see myself in that job like for 10 years or 20 years or whatever. And the first time I got into tech was like, oh, this is like the industry I could be in forever, just from like the learning aspect and the earning aspect. So it's like both of them like matched really nicely. And I feel like it's an industry where like, because I don't know nursing, but it's like almost like you could move hospitals, but I'm sure it's like very similar in the sense
It's
of
yeah,
like,
it's a thing.
yeah. Whereas like in tech, it's like you get better at like one segment now of tech and you just keep getting to like the next unicorn or the rocket ship. And it's like kind of learning different products, different teams, like different, then you actually increase your income and then you can go into all these different segments inside tech. So it's just like forever feels like you're learning in the industry as well.
Yeah, and it's so cool seeing the community on Double Triple and seeing everyone's backgrounds and people joining like later stages in their life, and then
Mm-hmm.
people like straight out like younger people. So it's cool seeing what backgrounds they do have and like how everyone's kind of the middle ground tech. And I don't know, it's just I can't
Totally.
wait. I just can't wait to like see when this community gets bigger and like how everyone actually goes in their jobs. And like I don't know, it's
No, it's
like
awesome. And
it's crazy.
you're going to be mind blown. I think everyone at Double Triple is going to be mind blown because I've been, and you've probably seen like folks that we bring into Double Triple, like from tech companies or who we connect you with. Like it's just like one of those industries where it's like all of yous will stay connected in some sense. And like you never know what's in the future, who gets promoted. Like, you've seen how people refer people in. It's just like a whole big network now that you use to your advantage throughout your whole career, which is really cool. We actually,
100%.
just doing like because like since doing Double Triple, it's just like kind of go, go, go. It's never been like a North Star of what we're trying to do, but like we officially want, like the goal is to have 1,000 people placed in tech sales. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like really cool to see it going to start get to that scale. Take years, but over time it will be really good. And like what we're most excited about is like, you're in the industry now for a year, like having you come back in as a mentor, coach people as well, like share your knowledge, which will be really cool to see even in 6 to 12 months time as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's what you guys have is amazing, and it's just the rocket ship onwards and up. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh, awesome, Natalie. Well, thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate it, and all the best traveling overseas and in your career. And I know you're absolutely going to smash it. So we'll have you back on. I'm sure we're going to have the whole Sydney crew in person in the Sydney studio podcast for sure one day. So we'll have that, and we look forward to having you back on.
100%. No, thank you so much. I really appreciate taking the time,
No worries.
and thank you for everything.